Assalamu alaikum, 7th graders. Now we are going to explain chapter 13, Ratio and Proportion, part 1. At the end of this video, student will be able to define a proportion, recognize the terms of a proportion, find the coefficient of proportionality, and complete a table of proportionality. Before we begin our lesson, please prepare your textbook, edition 2017, your copybook, and a pen. First, what is the meaning of a ratio? By definition, a ratio is a comparison of the measures of two quantities. It's represented as a form of a fraction A over B. Start to read the activity. Sarah and Maha are preparing strawberry jam. Sarah says, for 4 kilos of strawberry, I need 3 kilos of sugar. Maha says, for 8 kilos of strawberry, I need 6 kilos of sugar. Do Sarah and Maha use the same quantity of sugar to prepare the strawberry jam? Please pause the video and solve the activity. I can write Sarah's statement as a form of a ratio 4 over 3 and Maha's statements as another ratio that is 8 over 6. Since if we simplify 8 over 6 we obtain 4 over 3 by dividing by 2, then the two ratios are equal. So Maha and Sarah use the same quantity of sugar to make the strawberry jam. Now, what is the meaning of a proportion? By definition, proportion is the equality of ratios. In the proportion A over B equals C over D, B and C are called the means, and A and D are called the extremes. For example, 4 over 16 and 8 over 32 form a proportion because by calculation 4 divided by 16 equals 0.25 and 8 over 32 equals 0.25. Don't forget that 16 and 8 are called the means and 4 and 32 are called the extremes. Application 1. Do the numbers 1 over 5, 5 over 15, and 5 over 20 form a proportion? Please pause the video and solve application 1. By calculation, 1 over 5 equals 0.2, 5 over 15 equals 0.33, and 5 over 20 equals 0.25. Since the three ratios are different, so they don't form a proportion. Let's continue our applications. Application 2. Do the following tables represent proportionality table? Table 1, Table 2. Please pause the video and solve application 2. In the table 1, the ratios are 60 over 1, 180 over 3, and 360 over 6. And by calculations, the three ratios are equal, each one equal to 60. So this table is a table of proportionality, but in table 2, the ratios are 1 over 60, 2 over 120, and 3 over 150. By compare, the two first ratios are equal because if we multiply 1 and 60 by 2, we get 2 over 120, but are different from the third ratio because if we multiply 1 and 60 by 3, we get 3 over 180, different from 3 over 150. Then this table is not a table of proportionality. Remark, we can use the ratio number in row 1 over number in row 2 like to the ratio in the table 1, or number in row 2 over number in row 1 like to ratio in the table 2. Now, what is the coefficient of proportionality? By definition, in a table of proportion, that numbers in the second row are obtained by multiplying the number in the first row by a constant number called the coefficient of proportionality. Let's go to solve this example. Given the proportionality table, find the coefficient of proportionality. Calculate m and n, where m and n are decimals. To find the coefficient, I calculate y over x. So the coefficient is equal to 15 over 2 or 30 over 4 because all the ratios are equal. Equal by calculation 7.5. To calculate n, use the third ratio is equal to n over 6 is also equal to the coefficient. By solving this equation, we get n equals 6 times 7.5 equal 45. And to find n, use the fourth ratio equal 75 over n equal also the ratio. Then by solving this equation, we get m equals 75 divided by 7.5 equal 10. Remark, we can find another coefficient of proportionality, that is x over y equal to over 15 is the inverse of the first coefficient y over x. Now we're going to read the application. Given the proportionality table, find the coefficient of proportionality, calculate P and Q where P and Q are decimals, find the cost of 10 crayons. Please pause the video and solve the application. To find the coefficient, calculate y over x equal 14,000 over 2 equal 7,000. To find p, use the second ratio. That is, p over q is also equal to the coefficient because we have proportionality table. Then, by solving this equation, we get p equal 4 times 7,000 equal 28,000. To find q, use the fourth ratio. So 63,000 over q is also equal to the coefficient. By solving this equation, we get q equals 63,000 divided by 7,000 equal 9. Now, to find the cost of 10 crayons, I can use the proportionality table, find the cost. So the missing number is in the second row. So I can write the ratio cost over 10 equal also the coefficient equal 7,000. Then, by solving this equation, we get the cost equal 10 times 7,000 equal 70,000. So, the cost of 10 crayons is 70,000 Lebanese lira. Now, review page 148 from the textbook and solve page 153, the exercise 9, part A and B, and in page 154, exercise 10, part A, also from the textbook. In this video, we have learned that a ratio is represented by a fraction a over b, and a proportion is equality of ratios. In proportion a over b equals c over d, a and d are the extremes, and b and c are the means. For example, the two ratios 1 over 2 and 4 over 8 are equal, so they form a proportion, where 1 and 8 are the extremes, and 2 and 4 are the means. Thanks for your attention.